champion of the East, the champion of the West, the Cup Series Rookie of the Year, the defending race winner, some of the biggest names in NASCAR. They've all come to Irwindale, California, and they're all chasing the same thing. It's time for a showdown.
Welcome everyone to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series Toyota All-Star Showdown from Toyota Speedway in Irwindale, California. Joey Logano has made the trip back. He was the 07 winner. David Gilliland is here. In 2005, he was victorious in this showdown. Could a young man, just 16 years old, go to victory lane after grabbing his first pole? That's Sergio Pena. And he will start in the #1 position. We're getting ready for the Toyota All-Star Showdown. A little bit cooler evening tonight. Just 57 degrees. The skies are clear above, so we don't expect any precipitation, which we had seen in the past at this event. Tonight's event will kick off with the Toyota All-Star Showdown under the moonlight. There will be 3 segments, 2 100-lap segments separated by 10-minute breaks, and then a sprint at the end, 25 laps for the showdown. And then we'll kick off the All-American Late Model Series race. They will go 75 laps to conclude our evening. Hello everyone, Phil Parsons, Rick Allen with you once again. Phil, a very impressive field here again tonight.
It really is. We have 17 winners here from either the East and or the West. And I say and or because Joey Logano has actually won in both divisions, on the East and in the West. So a great star-studded field. They got a little bit of practice. And remember, most of these guys haven't been in race cars for 4 months since the end of September. So they're itching to go. And I'm telling you something, that last 25 lap segment, that's 25 laps less than it was last year. It will be slam bam.
We want to take a look at the specs for this race car.
You can see these engines, a little bit over 350 cubic inches. They make about 625 horsepower. The cars weigh anywhere from 3,250 to 3,300 pounds without the driver, and they have metal bodies, and they're not afraid to use them.
Where do these racers come from? Well, they race in 7 different states on the West Coast and 8 different states on the East Coast. They actually come together in Iowa for a race in May. Last night, these racers took to the racetrack to qualify for tonight's race. Heading out early on was Sergio Pena, and he set the pace. He was the man who put a mark up, and we were a little bit shocked by what had happened because we weren't expecting something like this. But Max Siegel, he was excited about the results.
Yeah, Max, along with John Story that own Revolution Racing, I think blown away would be a better term to see this 16-year-old youngster win that pole position.
Very tight racing in the super late models. As a matter of fact, upside down for a few different drivers.
Here's cars racing in the top 5. Travis Thurkettle, Alex Haas get together. Another melee.
Those 2 drivers were running in the top 5 at the time of that accident, but it was Rip Michaels that hoisted the trophy at the end of the day. And the final event of the evening last night.
And that's the guy leading.
Yeah, saw 11 drivers trying to qualify for 6 spots. He was out front, got turned around, and was not able to finish that one. That was Ruben Ravello that got turned around, but Michael Self was victorious in that race. He will start in the 35th position. And with our pole sitter on pit road is Dick Berggren.
Until last night, virtually nobody in stock car racing had ever heard of Sergio Pena, but, well, he was fast in practice, won one of the 2 practice sessions, won the pole last night, 16 years old, never sat in one of these cars before, never saw Irwindale Speedway before, but now comes the big test. How will you run your race?
Well, you know, I'm just going to go out there and try to get to a fast start, keep all my fenders on for sure, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of beating banging out there. So, you know, those last 25 laps are definitely what's going to come down to.
And veteran Andy Santerre will be keeping an eye on him. It's Santerre's car that Pena will be driving. Working with me on pit road tonight, Jim Trado. Jim?
And Dick, the waiting is over for 40 drivers here, and at the head of the field next to that young 16-year-old is a driver at 17 winning an East Championship and the Showdown in 2007. Joey Logano returns to Irwindale Speedway, a dramatic finish a year ago. You don't have to be here, Joey. What drives you back to Irwindale for the Showdown?
For a lot of fun. I tell you, this is my third year I've been out here. I have a blast running here. Toyota Speedway is one of my favorite tracks. It promotes awesome racing, so it's no-brainer for me to come back out. You know, I haven't raced since Homestead, so I've been pulling my hair out. So I'm excited. Mike Olson's actually brought me a good Home Depot Toyota here, and I'm stoked. I got my new crew chief for the Nationwide Series. He's here and helping us all out, trying to get the little chemistry between us. So hopefully it all works out for us, and we'll have a lot of fun tonight. So hopefully keep the doors on at first 200 and go for the checkers at laps 25.
I have a feeling he'll be in the hunt all night long, guys.
Thanks, Jim. Everybody smiles down on pit road right now. Well, we haven't fired the engines yet. They haven't gotten side by side. Again, 3 segments to start off for the All-Star Showdown. And then we'll finish it up with the late model race this evening. 4 hours of coverage right here on Speed. Stay with us. The race is next. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown is presented by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world. Last year, the Toyota All-Star Showdown moved from late fall to the following January. This allowed drivers from other series to participate in the race. Truck Series veteran Ron Hornaday and Brian Eichler were racing for the lead just past halfway when they made contact, causing a huge wreck at the front of the field. One of the drivers involved was Peyton Sellers. He had minimal damage and found himself leading the race on the last lap. Going for the win in the final turn, Joey Logano made an aggressive move that ended up taking out Sellers. Logano crossed the finish line first, but NASCAR penalized him for rough driving, giving Matt Kovaluk the win. He was the first repeat winner in 6 years. That was a year ago. Let's take a look at the former winners of this race. Austin Cameron, the first winner in 2003.
Mike Johnson was able to win the race in 2004. He's the first East winner to ever win this race. Austin Cameron being from the West.
In the field tonight, David Gilliland was victorious in 2005.
Mike Olson actually crossed the finish line first. Failed post-race inspection, gave the win to David Gilliland.
We have seen some crazy finishes here at this racetrack. Matt Kovaluk in 2006 got his first win out of racing from the East Series.
Said that was the biggest win of his career in 2006 out here.
Joey Logano, young Joey Logano with a great season in 2007, also running in the East Series, won the championship that year and came out and won the Showdown.
At 17 years old.
Matt Kovaluk, the first repeat winner of the All-Star Showdown. He also didn't cross the finish line first, but ended up in victory lane at the end of the event a year ago.
Let's take a look at Toyota Speedway at Irwindale, a half mile. The important thing is the banking. 6 degrees on the bottom, progresses up to 12 degrees at the top of the racetrack. The preferred line here at this racetrack is right up next to the wall, but to pass, you're gonna have to go down low, and that's why these guys run 2 and 3 wide all the way around this racetrack.
We saw 3 and 4 wide last night, and we wouldn't expect anything less. Take a look at our race analysis. It will be 225 laps. Again, that's broken into 3 different segments.
We're gonna run 100 laps, have a 10-minute break, another 100 laps, 10-minute break, and then it's 25-lap shootout for all the marbles.
Drivers about to climb into their cars. We will be getting underway. The engines will fire, and we'll see racing when we come back.